In this video, I'm going to show you how to use dithering with a digitization project. So I'm going to just show you how the dithering works on several different types of images. And we're going to start here by going from project, create from image. We'll say select image. And let's see, let me find my first image that I want to look at. There it is. Okay. Okay, so this has a gradient going from like a black in the sky to a light red all the way down at the bottom. And this is where dithering is going to come in handy. Let's go over here and we're going to, I'm just going to use Hirschner's latch hook yarn, rug yarn, and we'll pretend that we're making a latch hook pattern. Let me set the grid size here in my unit. So latch hook, 5 mesh, save changes. Okay. Okay, so notice now, let's go to the digitization type. So we've got smooth selected here by default. And you'll notice this is the original picture on the left and then the digitized ones on the right. And you'll notice that there's like some striping that we're getting across here. Okay, and that's what we want to get rid of. So where there are two dithered options, one is dithered smooth and one is dithered sharp. So let's try the dithered smooth. Okay. And that comes out pretty nicely. Okay, so now it looks very much like the original picture. And now dithered sharp will give you, it depends on the picture. Some pictures it will look quite different and some it will look about the same. But this should give you more sharp points of light and things like that. Like in this particular picture, you're going to see more little dots up here. Whereas this, if we go to the smooth, it'll kind of blur some of that more together. Okay, now if you have the dithered options on and you are still seeing some striping here, there could be a couple of reasons for that. One is could be that you need to have quite a few colors turned on in your palette. So let's reduce this color, maximum number of colors down to 10. And what we're going to see is that we're going to get a little bit more striping. There are not a whole lot of reds in the Hirschner's latch hook yarn palette. And so it doesn't have a lot of choices in terms of how to blend these together. In this case, we can increase the number of colors to get it to blend a little bit better. Okay, but it is possible that with some particular palettes, if there aren't a lot of colors in the general color area of what it is that you're trying to digitize, then there may not be enough colors there to mix together so that even the dithering will look a little bit striped. But it depends upon the picture, depends upon the palette. But it is definitely something to give a try if you're trying to work with a picture that has, a gradient of color that goes from one color to another color and does that slowly, then using the dithering is what you want to try to use. Okay, let me just pick up a couple of other pictures. It works really well for flowers because flowers often have a slow change of color, from one part of the leaf to the other. There'll be some highlights and some shaded areas and things like that. And so the dithering tends to work pretty well for that. Let's go down here. If I turn this on to sharp, we're going to get a lot of, just specific areas. It's kind of like striping again, but it's like blobs of gray here with white here and no mixing of those colors. If we do the smooth, we get a little bit of mixing in there, but we're still getting some kind of solid lines. We go in here and do dithered smooth. Then we're getting a lot of the lilac color kind of spread throughout the leaves and that, or the petals rather, and that looks a little better. I think for this particular picture, I think the smooth looks better. So dithered smooth would work really well, for some flower pictures. Let's go and do another one. Here's Here's a pathway where let's go in here and crop this a little bit. Just take the center of that. Okay, so if we had the dithering off, then we're seeing more of a striping across here, especially more with the smooth. So we're seeing kind of large areas of the same color. Whereas if we go and pick the dithering, then we're getting some blending in here. And again, it depends upon the colors in your palette. Hirschner's has a lot of golds and browns and that kind of thing in it, so that works out pretty well for that one. We'll try the sharp one. Okay, it looks about the same. Okay, let's try another one. One common type of photograph that you might have would be of a sunset or a sunrise. That always has like a slow gradient of color across the sky. We can crop this a little bit, get a little bit closer in here to what we want to see in the picture. And so here we're seeing, so if we turn that off, we turn the dithering off, then we're going to get, it's going to try to match, each of these colors to the palette without doing any kind of mixing. And so we're going to just get yellow and then orange and then red, and it's just going to be stripes of colors like this. Same thing if we do the smoothing. But if we do a dithered smooth, then we can get that to look more like our actual sunset or the dithered sharp. Okay, and then I've got one more I think we're going to pull up. I think it's down. There it is. Thought this was kind of a pretty picture done by AI. So let's do something like that. We'll crop that out. Okay, and again, if we turn a different dithering off, then you can see we're getting kind of solid lines, solid areas, where the sunset is, and we put the dithering on. That's going to blend it together and make more of a smooth transition from one color to another. Okay, so that's basically what I wanted to show in this video. I just want to show you that the dithering is doing that. Let's go ahead and actually create the project here for this one, so that you can actually see what it's doing. So it's just kind of speckling the colors together so that when then you look at the picture from a little farther out, and sometimes like I turn off the grid just so I can see kind of what it would look like, from afar a little bit, and kind of make it a little bit smaller, and then you can see how it all goes together. But basically, it's interspersing colors in order to make kind of in-between colors that your eye recognizes as an in-between lighter color. So this yellow interspersed with the orange is going to look to your eye like it's a little lighter orange in that area. So anyway, so that's basically what the dithering does. Anyway, okay, thanks very much for watching. Bye-bye.